Lady J, you got love, so much give in your heart, you have feelings. You love to love them with meaning. You got a clean spirit, you give them what you give them, so what them can't. Respect massive, this is Alpheus, and I'm locked right here with Lady J on the Pon Rome show. Don't move!
Yeah, you don't know this is the Empress Pon. I hear me now on 91.9 FM KCSB with Lady J. Tune in, man. Hey, Lady J, light the fire key. It purges the energies. Rastaman philosophy. Lady J, chant na bingy. Whoa. Yeah, man, 91.9 FM KCSB. Lady J. Mighty, you're mighty. Rrr.
Greetings, reggae lovers, locally and worldwide. My name is Lady J, and you're tuned into the radio show called Pon Rome on 91.9 FM KCSB Radio. And you know we love to highlight good reggae music, good dancehall music, and of course good dub music. And we broadcast weekly from 9 to 10 p.m. either online at kcsb.org or on your local 91.9 FM radio dial. And of course, we have lots of good music tonight, so just enjoy all these good vibes we bring in, all right? Now, Pon Rome always starts the musical meditation with the heartbeat of the Nyabingi. And so you're hearing Bob Marley and the Wailers' Rastaman chant from the 1973 Burning album from Tough Gong. Now, this next musical veteran is also known for his traditional Nyabingi drums and chants, at least since the 1960s. Up next, let's hear Ross Michael and the Sons of Negus, Nana Jaja Children, No Cry.
Children.
Yes, the singer and Nyabingi specialist Ross Michael sings None of Jaja Children No Cry on his 1972 Rastafari dub album with the Sons of Negus. And we all know Ross Michael and the Sons of Negus. Even more so, we know that Ross Michael and the Sons of Negus also worked with this next artist. Here's another musical veteran, Haile Mascal. Haile Mascal gives Tafari praises on his debut album called Let's Make It from Opulent Sound. Now this is his rootical song called Tafari Safari. And if you know Haile Mascal, then you also know that he's from Jamaica. But when he came to California in the 80s, he and Shaka Man and Herb Daly, they started a band called the Rastafarians. So I want to take time just to big up Haile Mascal at this time. Big up the Rastafarians. And speaking of Shaka Man, right? Not only is he featured on the Marley Festival lineup this Saturday, January 28th at the Gas Lamp in Long Beach, but he also sings a song of greetings. Here's Shaka Man.
Greetings I bring you in the name of God the Father. Day I was born, I see no day of peace at all. All I see is
Yes, this is Shaka Man, and ironically enough, he released this album called 2030 AD back in 2005, and he says, "Greetings I bring to the four corners of the earth." And again, as I mentioned before, Shaka Man will be featured this weekend in Long Beach at the Gas Lamp. It's on Saturday, January 28th, and this lineup is actually pretty fire with classic roots artists like The Meditations, The Gladiators, Wailing Souls, Empress Akua, and many, many more. So now, let's hear from the long-standing vocal harmony group called The Meditations. The Meditations sing Turn Me Loose in their 1978 vinyl record from Third World Music. And remember, they are also one of the veteran harmony groups featured on stage this Saturday, January 28th at the Gas Lamp in Long Beach. And when they released their debut album in 1976, it was the song Woman is Like a Shadow that became one of their biggest hits. Here's more Meditations.
Catch it.
woman is like a shadow, and a man is like an arrow. A woman is like a shadow, and a man is like an arrow. So never let a woman know how much you love, 'cause there won't be no peace in your life. And I say, never let a woman know how much you care, 'cause they will do things to hurt you, and it's no joke about it. I said to do what you can for them, but not too much, 'cause they will hurt you. Give what you can, but don't give much, 'cause they will hurt you. Listen when I say to you, and no joke about it. Easy come, easy go. If you run down your shadow, you can never catch it. If you run down your shadow, you can never catch it. So never let a woman know how much you love, 'cause there won't be no peace in your life. And I say, never let a woman know how much you care, 'cause they will do things to hurt you.
Yes, Message from the Meditations. That's the name of their debut album from 1976. And this song, Woman is Like a Shadow, was again a huge hit that everyone recognizes, especially if they're a Meditations fan. Now, another song that people love from the Meditations is Fly Nati Dread. And I'm sure all these songs will be featured and sang live on stage this weekend on Saturday, January 28th, because they will be featured on the Marley Festival in Long Beach at the Gas Lamp with other artists like Wailing Souls and Empress Akua and the Gladiators and so many more. So, you know, I love the Gladiators. And speaking of the Gladiators, let's hear one of my favorite hits from 1974 from the Gladiators, Bongo Red.
Man don't like to get mixed up by pushing my mouth in something I can't do. No. I man don't take seriously. Them kind of things bring mixed up. I man not say what next man say. I like to prove things for myself. So I take a walk from 6th Street, trying to prove something, going to the bottom of the street. From corner to corner, you can hear, yes, the youth, them a shout, not in dread, yes, them dread, not in dread, not in rude, not in cool, not in dread, yes, them dread, for they stand up in Babylon. I take a walk from 6th Street, trying to prove something, going to the bottom of the street. From corner to corner, you can hear, yes, the youth, them a shout, not in dread, yes, them dread, not in dread, not rude, not in cool, not in dread, yes, them dread, for they stand up in Babylon. Not the red, not the rude, not the cool, not the red. Let them dread, for they stand up in Babylon. Not the dread, not the rude, not the cool,
Yes. Now, when the Gladiators released this song, Bongo Red, it was back in 1974, and they released it on a 7-inch 45 vinyl record, and then they released it on their debut album called Trenchtown Mix-Up just 2 years later in 1976. But the Gladiators have so many hits, and that includes Dreadlocks Time Is Now, Ja Works, of course, Bongo Red, and again, these songs are songs they'll be singing this weekend on the Marley Festival lineup at the Gas Lamp in Long Beach. So make sure you check out the Marley Festival. Up next, the Lovejoys. Now, these are voices of a female vocal duo that you should know. They are the Lovejoys, and they released this song, Stranger, in 1983 on their debut album called Lovers Rock Reggae Style on Wackies. And what I love is that the LA songstress Empress Akua actually sang a rendition of this classic song. Here is Empress Akua as she pays respect to the Lovejoys in this song called Stranger.
Lying here, looking up at the ceiling, you're lying there, sleeping. I reach out to you, you turn and say, I love you, but no, you're only dreaming. This relationship has no meaning, no meaning. Oh, time to face reality. You're not the one for me. We're from two different places and times. Yeah. You go your way, and I'll go my way. I'll go all the way alone. Yeah, I've got to go on without you. I've got to go on without you. Hey, stranger, get out of here. Stranger, get out of here. Stranger, get out of here. Stranger, you're not wanted here. Hey. Lying here, looking up at the ceiling, you're lying there, sleeping. Reach out to you, you turn and say, I love you, but no, you're only dreaming. This relationship has no meaning. Stranger, get up. Get out of here. We don't want no pain in our life. Stranger, get up. Get out of here. Don't want no pain in our life. Greetings and blessed love. This is Empress Akua, always Irie, everything nice. And you're tuned into 91.9 FM KCSB radio with my sister and queen, Lady J.
You're tuned into the Fire Pon Rome radio show on 91.9 FM KCSB radio. And my name is Lady J. And again, you just heard from the roots reggae female duo called the Lovejoys in their 1982 song called Stranger. And now you're hearing from the LA songstress Empress Akua in her newest song called Stranger, which is actually a rendition of the Lovejoys' classic Stranger song. And of course, we have the very talented goddess and Empress Akua right here on KCSB Radio. Greetings and love, Empress Akua.
Thank you, my sister goddess, queen.
So now, we're hearing the song Stranger, and it's definitely a roots song that came out of, Brixton, England, from Sonia and Claudette. And they both were a part of the women's duo group called the Lovejoys. And when they released that album, Lovers Rock in 1982, it certainly was like a milestone and landmark roots album, especially with their song Stranger. But as we're hearing now, you step forward to do your rendition of Stranger. Take us through how this song song was selected and why you chose to highlight the Lovejoys in your amazing rendition of Stranger, again, which was distributed by Tough Gong International.
Well, actually, I've been loving the Lovejoys for so many years. And, I hear a lot of remix of other songs, more popular reggae artists. They're legends, and so are the Lovejoys. And I love their music, and I just wanted to just bring it back out, make it heard. Because even in, clubs where they have roots reggae and stuff like that, you don't really hear the Lovejoys playing. So I really love their music, and Stranger was one that just captivated me. It was just so beautiful, and I love singing it, so. And plus I had a situation like that, but that's not why I did it, But, most women have. So that's what made me bring it back. I love the Lovejoys, and they deserve that,
I think when veteran artists like the Lovejoys have such classical music, roots reggae music in the vaults like that, and it is remade in a rendition style, it just gives great credibility to the work that they put in from that time to this time.
Yeah, for real. That's what I was saying. They deserve it.
Now we're hearing the song called Praise Jah, which is, a collaboration song with you and Fred Locks. And we all know Fred Locks is one of, the veteran roots reggae singers from Kingston, Jamaica. How did you actually team up with Fred Locks for your song Praise Jah?
I was in Jamaica. I spent a lot of time in Jamaica. That's my second home. I really love it. I'm so comfortable there. I was doing a show out there. And afterwards, he knows our manager. Of course, they grew up together. They're from Waterhouse. That's all I hear. Waterhouse. But and it's good stories that I hear. It's so beautiful, Anyway, he came to him and just told him that he wants to do a song with me. That artist, he loved my vocals. So he wanted to link with me and do a song. And that's what started our relationship as brethren and sister. So we went to Caveman Studio and we got in there. He put the rhythm on and we wrote that song in maybe about not even 30 minutes, We just got on the mic and just freestyled, and then we put it together, perfected it a little later. But yeah, we were in and out that studio session maybe about within 2 hours, and most of it was, just playing the music and mixing and doing all that kind of stuff. But as far as lyrically, we just vibed so tough, so good in the studio. He get up and sing a part, and then I'll go sing a part, and, we'll sing together and then we'll sing a part again, It was fun.
Well, I know that is one of the best ways to actually record and make music is when there's, a good harmony, a good vibe, especially when you're doing a duo and a collaboration. The vibe has to be right. So if you were able to do that in within 2 hours in the studio with spontaneity, just off vibes, then that shows the level of comfortability between you and him as both artists.
Exactly. We were like brother and sister from the moment we met, So yes.
So I know that community is very important to you, especially being born and raised in Los Angeles. And, right now LA is experiencing an astronomical homeless epidemic. And, you could clearly see this as you drive down the streets of LA and see makeshift housing tents and even RVs along the sides of the road. Talk about your community service efforts and involvement with, feeding the homeless population in Los Angeles.
Well, that's interesting because, I have this love in my heart, and it enables me from being around certain people or being out there doing certain things. I believe in love to the fullest, and I know that it's an action word because you can't just say I love you without action behind it. So I believe the Most High loves when we say we love and we live it. And when you love, you help the elders, you help the sick, you help feed the poor. You have that kind of action behind it, and you have to do it on purpose. That's the way I feel about it. That's what the Most High put in my heart. So I've been actually doing it for a lot of years, many years. So that's my major thing. I make sure that I feed the homeless, and I make sure that I give clothes, donate clothes to different shelters for women that need jobs, or gather up men's old clothing too, to take them to the shelters, and, for the men who want to work and just need clothes and shoes to feel better about themselves and get out there and do something for themselves. I do it for children too. I volunteer at the mission, feeding and serving. I volunteer with entertaining them. If they have little organizations that need a singer, I'll do that. I just feel like it's so worth it. Just like the scripture said, to whom much is given, much is required. So I live by that.
I know that to have this type of community contribution, it has to come from a genuine place.
I'm going to tell you, my genuine place is just my heart. It's just my heart. You know, I just know how I feel and my experiences in life, and love feels really good to me and hate feels really bad to me. I have a choice to choose who I'm around. As a child, I was a feeler. I can feel other people's pain and stuff like that, you know.
Right.
But people do come around. You know, I have some really irie people that visit me, people who are a lot like me, where you don't get the funny feeling and souls, and they help and they're good and they understand what love is, you know. So I can deal with those souls. Yeah, it's a spiritual thing. It just comes from my love, my heart, you know.
So you're speaking of growing up and being adolescent and being a young girl and being spiritual even then and knowing love even then. Talk about your influence of family as it relates to you coming into the music, reggae music in Los Angeles.
Again, I'm just going to have to go by the Most High, because I have a very loving family. When I was a young teen, I was walking down the street and I saw a cassette cover, and it had this man with this knotty hair on there. And I said, wow, that's different, because I never, you know, from Watts, I never seen anything like that. You know, we come from Black Power and Afros and Black Panthers, but I had never seen that. So when I picked the cassette cover up, it was Haile Mastel. But I didn't know him then, but that's the name. He had his white suit on and, you know, his black shirt and his hat and everything. So I said, wow, this is interesting. I'm going to keep that. Then a couple of years later, as a young teen, in my neighborhood, a Jamaican restaurant opened up, and I just trying to see what's going on in the neighborhood. I walked in, and I think I was like 17, 18. And that's when I met Shaka Man and Lamar. They were the owners of that restaurant. They invited me to Kingston 12, a reggae club, and I went, and I fell in love with it. But I was around Rastas from a teenager. I was just around pure Rasta. But that really started it when it comes to reggae, and I never left their side, because one day I did submit to the order, you know, and I started living differently. But, you know, I know now that love is everything.
Yeah. I know that everyone has many talents, including yourself. As you mentioned, of course, you're a singer, songwriter. You are an artist in terms of being creative with acrylics and painting. And, you know, I know everyone knows the Martin Show from the 90s, which is really kind of like a cultural favorite, especially with regards to comedy sitcom TV shows. And, you know, the show, of course, it features Martin Lawrence and Tisha Campbell, aka Gina. And I can actually say that was one of my favorite shows in the 90s. And it really still is today, really and truly. And you recently posted a throwback picture on your Instagram of your appearance on the Martin Show from season 5, episode 7, where, you know, there was Prince Uchi, and he was, you know, making a proposal to Martin for Gina. And of course, Martin, he accepted this offer, but not really understanding the fullness of what Gina was to do. such a funny episode. But what I love is that in the ceremonial scene, I noticed that there were a lot of actors in that scene who are LA creatives and LA artists and even LA dancers who we all know. Of course, there's the master dance teacher Nzinga Kamara and her daughter.
My mama.
Yes, big up Nzinga. And of course, her daughter, Empress Manami. And
my best friend.
Oh, nice. I didn't know that. But
that's my close friend for years. My ace boon. We talk every day. We communicate.
Well, big up Manami. And there's even dancer Nakani Andrews and also artist and drummer Jamael. Rest in peace, Jamael. But let's not forget that you were also featured in this episode. Talk about your appearance on the Martin Show and how that manifested, and even just your overall experience on that episode in season 5.
Well, I can tell you that was a very spiritual thing for me. And that was the beginning of a lot of things I've done after that. I actually was driving a friend to an audition. So I was her ride. And when we got there, you know, they were asking who's going to audition, and they pointed. So they pointed to me and said, "Are you going to audition?" And I was saying no. And she said, "Yes, she's going to audition," you know, for that particular part that I did, which bumps you up and gets you paid more, you know. They said, you know, she got the part, which was me. So I actually went on to do several different things. The Black Panther movie. I did LL Cool J show. I had my own Miller's commercial. And I've done so much, but the music I did love. I said I had to stick with roots reggae. That's the only thing I feel good about, because when I can get thanks and praise, that's what I live for.
Well, you know, I recently saw you at the Reggae on the Mountain Festival in Santa Barbara, and you headlined on the Hill stage singing like many of your songs from your musical vault. And one of the songs I love to hear you sing is your rendition of Rita Marley's One Draw, which, you know, again, you sang at Reggae on the Mountain. Talk about your experience being featured on this California festival, and also talk about just the importance of paying respect to Rita Marley with the song One Draw.
Well, Rita Marley is the Queen Mother, you know, and One Draw was always a song that I loved. When my friends, Shaka Man and Haile Masquelle and all those people, I was always around them. Like I said, they were putting on a show at this one point and wanted me to choose some songs to sing. And of course, my number one was Rita Marley, One Draw. So I did that and I loved it and everybody loved it. So I keep it in my set, you know, to pay tribute to, you know, her. I try to make sure I have her, Judy Moet, Marcia Griffith, at least one of each of their songs to pay them some big respect, because they're the queen, the empress, you know, the Queen Mother. So that's how I got to singing that One Draw song. It was a great show. I had fun. The one who puts it on is a really great person. Like I said, if you didn't catch it before, I think that's my third or fourth time doing one of his shows. And they were always a Reggae on the Mountain something, you know.
Well, I know that you've performed on many stages, many festivals over the years, and even opened it up for many reggae, you know, reggae's biggest names, including Stephen Marley and Still Pulse and the Gladiators. And in fact, you're featured on an amazing show that's happening on Saturday, January 28th at the Gas Lamp in Long Beach, California, which it features reggae veterans like the Wailing Souls, the Meditations, Shaka Man, and of course the Gladiators, and many, many, many more. You're also on this event. Talk about this upcoming Marley Festival event.
Well, it's going to be a great one. I'm looking forward to it. I've done this one. This is my third festival there with the Wailing Souls and the Gladiators and the Meditations. So it's going to be really great. I'm glad to be a part of it once again, and it's a reunion. Yeah, so I'm just looking forward to it. I'm going to go on at 6:30 p.m. I know they have a happy hour at 4 o'clock, and they have good food, and the show starts at 5. I go on at 6:30, you know, so from then on, it's going to be all kinds of booths selling all kinds of things. I'm going to have my merchandise there. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be fun and rootsy, and I'm ready for it. I'm excited about it.
Well, again, it's called the Marley Festival. It says that it's an all-ages event. It'll be hosted by Ja Faith. And I think it's a great opportunity to see yourself, Empress Akua set, as well as witness some of the great harmonizing groups like the Meditations and the Gladiators and the Wailing Souls. And like you said, happy hour at 4, show starts at 5. You can frequent some of the merchandising booths, and I think listeners would enjoy this. How can listeners find out more about this show, more info about this show?
Well, of course, you can check my Instagram, which is Empress Akua, EMPRESSAKUA, and the number 1.
Now, talk about any current musical projects that's in the works right now.
Yeah, I actually have about 5 songs done. I'm going to do a 7-song EP. So I have about 5 songs finished, 2 music videos basically finished. Just got to put finishing touches on those. And I'll be working on more videos. Yeah, so I have several songs already ready. And like I said, the videos are almost ready, basically done. Yeah, everybody be hearing something soon. This is like my production, Empress Akua music production. So I have to take my time with it because I want everything a certain way. Just
right. Well, we look forward to, you know, new music that's forthcoming, as you say, in February. And, you know, Empress Akua KCSB is so delighted about your music, your projects, your community involvement, and of course, your stage shows. And, you know, we're just going to continue to highlight Empress Akua music on KCSB Radio. Give thanks for the Goddess Meditation today, and give thanks for speaking with KCSB 91.9 FM Radio.
And thank you, Queen. Thank you for all that you do. I really love that. So God bless you on your journey. May it be totally prosperous and you're just full of health.
Love, 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 love.
Lady J Reggae.
All right.
Jamama far I live, the queen of kings, the mother of creation. It's in her image I live, a precious decree, prophetess of deity. I give thanks and praise that she is here with me always, yeah. And at all times I keep the high state of mind. Meditation, God is meditation, elevation to the God is meditation. Just constant delight, rejoicing always in His presence. Yeah, she speaks of truth and right, knowing Jah is on her side. She chants because of me, kings reign and rulers make just laws. As co-creator, I was there when the world began. That's the heights of the goddess meditation. Meditation, a goddess meditation. Elevation to the goddess meditation. Come eat of my bread and drink the wine which I have mingled, yeah. Forsake the foolish and live. Blessed are they who keep my ways for all days, yeah. For water cools and fire blaze. Meditation, a goddess meditation. Elevation to the goddess meditation. Meditation, elevation to the goddess meditation. It's a celebration, goddess meditation, healing of the nation. Whoa, it's a celebration, goddess meditation, healing of the nation. Whoa, mother of creation.
Yeah, mama, far I live, the queen of kings, the mother of creation. Is in her image I live, a precious decrees, prophetess of deities. I give thanks and praise that she lives here in me always, yeah. And at all times I keep the high state of mind. Meditation, a goddess meditation. Yes, I blessed love. This is Empress Akua, and you're tuned into 91.9 FM KCSB Radio with Lady J.
Yes, Empress Akua is bringing the goddess meditation to the music. And remember to see her live on stage at the Marley Festival in Long Beach this Saturday, January 28th at the Gas Lamp. Now, I'm so excited to bring new music from one of my favorite singers. He's a reggae veteran from Trinidad, and his name is Wadigad.
Young lion, you want to go to Zion? You wanna go to Zion? Young lion, live righteously, calling on you leaders to set an example, calling on you teachers to teach some principles, the things that you do will live after you, and you know it's true.
wanna do? Young lion, young lion, young lion, wanna go to Zion. You wanna go to Zion. Young lion, young lion, young lion, live righteously, live righteously. They spending so much money on war and space, on war and space. Why don't you spend some to repatriate? Repatriate. You are the peacemakers in every state. That's what you say. Why don't you spend some to eliminate hate? Eliminate hate. Young lion, young lion.
Pull up the one there. Pull up the one there. Lady J. Lady J, tell them, come.
Young lion, young lion, you want to go to Zion? You wanna go to Zion? Young lion, young lion, live righteously, live righteously. Calling on you leaders to set an example. Set an example. Calling on you teachers to teach some principles. Some principles. The things that you do will live after you. After you. And you know it's true. Tell me what you wanna do. Young lion, young lion, young lion, wanna go to Zion. You wanna go to Zion. Young lion, young lion, young lion, live righteously, live righteously. They spending so much money on war and space, on war and space. Why don't you spend some to repatriate? Repatriate. You are the peacemakers in every state. That's what you say. Why don't you spend some to eliminate hate? Eliminate hate. Young lion, young lion, young lion, want to go to Zion. You wanna go to Zion. Young lion, young lion, live righteously, live righteously. Corruption.
Yes, Young Lion coming from Wadi Gad. Brand new music from Wadi Gad, Young Lion, produced by Ralston Grant of the Twinkle Brothers. So big up Wadi Gad, and of course big up the Twinkle family. Yes, people, another good vibe session with the Fire Pon Rome radio show. And what I love about KCSB radio is that even though I'm not in the US, I'm across the world right now in St. Lucia, Eastern Caribbean, West Indies, I can still bring you good programming remotely. So I'm happy that you joined me tonight, and I definitely want to say give thanks for joining me, and give thanks Empress Akua for spending just a few moments with KCSB Radio. And you know, if you love reggae music, you want to make sure you tune in again next week for more musical sounds. So until then, I want you to stay locked on kcsb.org and also stay blessed. My name is Lady J.
And some to repatriate. Repatriate. Are the peacemakers in every state. That's all you say. Please spend some to eliminate hate. Young lion, young lion, you wanna go to Zion. You wanna go to Zion. Young lion, young lion, live righteously, live righteously. Corruption attack from door to door. Attack from door to door. You need some examples to follow. To follow. Are we building a nation of pickaxe and hoes? Pickaxe and hoes. You gonna hate me some more.